Hi, my name is Simon, and we have Alex today as our panelist. In this webinar, we'll be exploring Reapit proposals. In today's webinar, we'll be exploring understand the importance of a proposal, activating and accessing Reapit proposals, and creating a proposal. So let's get started. Proposals allow real estate agents to present what services they have on offer and to prospective landlords and vendors. This allows them to create custom, modular, and interactive digital proposals that win more listings. It also allows you to create fully branded templates unique to each client. Proposals can be performed at any time for prospective vendors and landlords, but are most effective when seeking a signed agency agreement. So, why Reaper proposals? With Reaper proposals, you can save time and money by taking as little as 10 minutes. The proposal can be emailed and tracked to monitor interest. You can stand out from your competitors by presenting your campaign calendar, marketing schedule, recent sales, testimonials, and references, just to name a few. After discussing its importance of a proposal, we can provide you with a given, in the given chat, an actual survey. You should find the survey in the chat. I'll allow 30 to 60 seconds to answer to choose more, and you can choose more than one answer if needed. Okay. To access the proposal feature, you'll need to activate it. To do this, go to your name on the top right corner to enable the drop-down menu. If you have the right permissions, select Manage Subscriptions. Once you select Manage Subscriptions, a pop-up window will appear. Once the pop-up window appears, the header will inform you that you have premium tier subscriptions. If you're on premium, you can activate additional features and subscriptions such as digital proposals. Click on Activate and follow the prompts. Once you have successfully activated proposals, select Configure Branding to enter a new tab of logging into the proposal feature. You can log in using your Reapit Sales username and password. So once we've done the login, let's look at the feature. As you log in, this is what the proposal feature will be presented towards. Now, the interface I'll talk about in a bit, but what I'm going to be talking about what I will be talking about is on the top right-hand corner, there's a few options available. The first one I'll start with is the 9 dots. is the 9 dots. In the 9 dots, you will be able to access the user manual if required. You can access any training services that are required after today, or you can contact support of any help or inquiries that need to come through. What I find is one of the most crucial parts when you're doing a proposal is this drop down here, this drop down that is presented in front of me where my mouse cursor is. And when you click on it, you're going to notice for most agencies, you're going to have one office and then you're going to have your branch underneath. So in my example, I can have the bold is being my office and the standard font is going to be my branch. This is very crucial when you're actually presenting proposals. As if you click on, let's say, the standard text in this circumstance, you will notice on the left-hand menu that you will get different options available. With those different options, you will be able to actually conduct certain work. So my first example would be, I can go to, in the actual branch, I can go to integration. And integration, this will be part of the setup process. In the setup process, I can actually pick up which data source am I going to be using. In our example, we'll be using Price Finder, but you can use Core Logic if required from Australian or New Zealand. You can also put in your agency's Rate My Agent code or any forms live that are required for your proposal. Additionally, when I'm actually in the standard font that I am in today, I can actually go to the very top right-hand corner under my name, and I can actually examine my profile. In my profile, it's going to show all my details, such as my name, my photo, and any details I've actually put in here. What I can additionally do is if I go back to the bold text, I'm going to get back and I'm going to have less options on my left-hand menu. Now, this is crucial to understand because when we're in the bold, we can actually set up our themes and our templates. So if I go to themes, I will see there is some preempted themes within my system. Now, with these themes, I can actually select which one I would like to use for today. And in this case, I'm going to feel majestic and I'm going to go next to deactivate. There's a little square and pen icon where I can edit my theme. Themes are primarily where you can put in your design features and colors. So an example is I have my logo in here. And if I need to actually add additional photos, such as a cover, I can go to choose image and I can search and upload any files that are available. So I can go to select file, for example, go to, let's say, my downloads, and I can pick my logos accordingly if needed. Once I've uploaded my photos, I can actually put it into the listing. Additionally, we can do other things as well, such as put out sidebar position or make it collapsible. And additionally, we can also change our color schemes. I have my standard color schemes on the background colors, secondary background, and the sidebar color. Now, if you need to update it, I can actually go in. I actually have a hex code for it. So I can copy. And if I need to change it to the same color hex code, I can go through and I can go changing the colors manually to see what works best for me. Or I can go through and customize my hex code. We can select a list of default heading and body text if needed. Or if you're feeling adventurous, you can go to custom and actually put in your font family. All these background images can be customized. When you're going between each segment, you can actually pick which ones are going to be. I'm going to keep the standard in this circumstance, but you can actually go choose image and choose your image colors if required. Once I've made all my set changes, I will hit save on my theme. Now, with that theme, I've actually got my colors and branding for that particular icon, and I can see when I've actually last updated it. Now, with the theme, I will have to apply it to an actual template for my proposal. To do that, I can go to templates and I can find all my actual templates that are available. Proposals can be used for both rentals and sales, but primary purpose of today is I'm going to do it for a sales proposal. And how I actually do that is I go just like I did when it came to themes. I go to the very far right next to deactivate with the pen and circle, the square and pen, and I can actually select what type of proposal I'm doing. I will be doing a digital one for today. And I'm actually going to stick to my just majestic theme that we've just added. If the standard theme needs to change by any means, we can do the drop down. But each proposal can have their own custom theme. This is just the default theme. So if I go next, we are going to see the master template for my proposal. Now, what I can do is I can scroll down and I can see where are the default fields of my proposal. And these are the background images that we put between the themes to show where we're going to show each segment. Now, what I can do with my proposal is if I want to see each of the actual items that I have for each proposal, I can click on the three lines on the top left-hand corner. And these are all the ones that are all the segments that are available. Now, with the segments, I can actually click and I can go and it'll instantly send me down. And I can see there's the different prices that are available for my marketing. I can go across and I can actually go in and edit and customize if needed. So, for example, my bronze, I can add the price for the photos. And customize them. And furthermore, I can go to the three dots on the right hand side and I can delete the row if needed. So we can customize each of these themes if required and each and all the packages that are available. Now you can see here as well, I've got useful documents and that has got a line through it. And that ultimately means this is not going to be visible when every time I'm generating a proposal for that for my listings. If I need to make it visible, I can turn the eyeball on the bottom corner. Again, on the bottom right hand corner, I can turn it off if needed. Additionally, I will go through my left menu and I have all these options available. Now, if there's a segment I do not need, for example, our sales team, I can untick it and that will be excluded from the standard template. And there it is there. It is now no longer visible. I can also go through each of these fields, such as the testimonials, and I can customize it if I need to. Once I've made all my custom fields changes and anything else that needs to be added, such as I can hit save on the top right hand corner to update my actual template of the proposal that I'd like to send out. So what we've done is we've established how to create the color scheme and the themes of how it will look and present. And the templates is going to look at the structure. So how do we create the individual proposal for a particular listing? This is where we go to the crucial part where under your agency, we then go into the standard text underneath. And that is where we get the additional fields that are available. From there, we can actually create a proposal. From the proposal, we can select our template and we've got our default theme that we've actually just created as well. You can actually enter the address of the property that you're going to be doing. This will actually generate from Pricefinder or CoreLogic, and you'll be able to pick your address. So in my example, I could do this one here, 90 Power Street. If it's a new development, what we can do is we can go, can't find your address, and you can type in the address manually. Additionally, what we can do is we can select our agent. If it's not in here, I've already been pre-selected, and I can enter the vendor's details. Okay. Once I've actually entered all those details and selected my theme and template, it's coming up with a scaffold of my actual proposal. I can go to the 3 lines and what I can do is I can actually instantly go through and pick certain fields that I'd like to actually customize and edit myself. So a good example could be I can go to property value and it'll zoom me down to property value. Now, at the moment, there is no comparables of any sales that have come through. That is for sale as well. So what I can do is I can click on it and I can click on edit. From here, I can actually put my area. So such as I've got my area of 1 kilometer and it's actually looking at what is in Price Finder, what is actually being sold on the market. Now, if I've got comparables that are similar properties, I can actually tick on any particular listings that I like to add to my proposal of potential sold listings that are matching close to what they have on offer. I'll just go add selected properties and I can save that with those comparables that I found that has been matched off with Price Finder. I could also do what is currently on the market, same story as well. Just click in and hit edit, and I can add what is actually on the market. Just go to my 3 lines again. And what we can do is we can actually go to campaign calendar and we can start customizing our particular campaign. If they sign up with us by the end of the month, what are we expected to do? And where can we start and commence? We can add the dates and we can also add what we're going to be doing. Once we've done that, the final one I will go through is your property. This is going to be the property that's been listed on the market. And what it does in this circumstance is it goes through and looks at what is actually in the system. If there's nothing that's actually being found, we can upload our own media. And what we can do is we can select our files and find our files accordingly. Now, once we've done all those changes, I'll just go to the 3 lines. We can also look further and we can actually go through and look at a couple of people in the sales team. Now, this can be extended and it can be edited, or we can make it not visible and remove that so that when it's actually published, it will be unavailable to view for that potential prospect vendor or landlord. Now, I'm still working on this particular proposal, I can go back to my dashboard and I will see this is my actual proposal that I'm creating. Now, I know it is not published because it has draft listed in here. It's going to give me some details such as the theme and the template that I've been using, and who am I presenting it with, and what particular date. If I need to make additional changes, I can go to and hit the edit button, make sure I've got the right theme, and I can make additional changes if required. If everything is fine with it, I can actually go in, or sorry, I should say, if everything is fine, what I can do is I can hit publish, and that could actually be finalized, and we could send it out to our prospective vendor. Once we hit publish, it's going to present to us an example of our listing. And this link above is what we are actually going to send out to our prospective vendor or landlord. If I close this and I go back to my dashboard, we will now see that it's been marked as published. If this is published, what we'll probably need to do now is we need to share this to the prospective vendor. To do that, we can go to share link. This is an email that we have. We can copy the email. It's got confirmation at the bottom saying that it's been copied, and we can send it off to our vendor. If we've sent it off and they've actually viewed the actual proposal that we've listed, instead of checking every day, we'll get an email in the inbox to say that, that our vendor has actually opened the proposal. Here's an example on screen now of what it will actually demonstrate. Now, what we can do then, if it's been viewed, it gives the vendor an opportunity to view it. And if they've viewed it, we can actually go in and edit. Just to give you an idea, we'll go to edit real quickly. And the vendor or landlord will have an opportunity to accept or reject the said proposal. In my case, you'll see it's under next steps, which is at the bottom. So if I scroll, actually, I'll click on it for you. What will happen is it will show the price range that we set for it and commission, but also if they'd like to proceed with us, looking at what we offer as an agency, as well as the list, their actual property and what we're going to do in terms of their campaign. If it's been accepted, okay, it will be marked as accepted as I've got here. If the proposal has been here for a prolonged period of time and it's causing a bit of clutter, what we can do is we can go into the three dots and we can archive this particular proposal, especially if we've actually gone back, called them back after they've viewed the proposal and showed some interest, and they said they're no longer interested or wishing to proceed, we can archive it. If the proposal's been archived, it's going to go under the bin of archive proposals. Since these both have been published, we cannot delete them. They will stay in the archive box. The purpose of that is just to show that we've actually presented these to prospective buyers or landlords. If I go to current proposals though, now I can see there's only one proposal and it's the one that has been accepted. I can actually click on the live link at any time as an agent just to see or view what has been done with this proposal, especially if it's been done by another agent. So we can see what we are marketing as an agency for this particular listing for prospective buyers and vendors. We're trying to maximize what we have on offer and maximize our chances post appraisal. Now, since this has been accepted, we can also see that it has some views on it. People have been looking at it, but what have they been looking at? What they've been looking at, we can actually go to the top corner where it says activity, because there's been two people that have viewed it. We can see that it's been viewed within a certain region and how long have they been viewing it. Now, I can actually play a session replay of what's actually occurred. And we can also go to the heat map. The heat map is going to show where the activity is mostly done within the proposal. There's a couple of advantages of this heat map as well. I can see when it's been clicked, and I can see the areas of interest. If there has been any interest in particular areas, when we actually produce future proposals, we'll be able to see where we should focus our proposal in our templates. We can see there's a bit of activity in the campaign. We can see what we should be focusing upon. Additionally, we can see if they've never been touched and there's a trend, we can remove that so we can streamline our proposals, or we can edit it to something that's more engaging in the future. So the heat map is looking at engagement between the prospectives, such as the vendors and landlords, and us, and what we're presenting as agents. You can even go and we can look at a quick video. I won't play the full video, but we can see the activity of what's actually occurred. Okay. So this is just a demonstration. I'll skip to a certain point just to see where they've been going and what have they been doing. Okay. That's their activity. That's their common trend. So not only we can see what they've been accepting, but we can also see what they're actually being engaged with this proposal. I can see if I go, I'm going to skip a little forward, and we can see there's no engagement at this particular field. So there could be an underlying method of this proposal could be too long to retain their interest, or it could also be showing that this may not be an engaging part and they've quit already. So that is the activity of a proposal. So let's recap on what we've looked at today. With Reapit Proposals, we looked at understanding the importance of a proposal, activating and accessing a proposal. We also looked at creating a theme and a layout, and how we actually can deliver these proposals to prospective landlords or vendors.